Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here. And wow, I'm a bit quiet after this amazing story, looking at those beautiful cows. I'm really entitled. I would love to go to the Azores. Yeah, not even virtually, actually. So, dairy farmers. Very pleased to be here. Thanks for the invitation. If I start talking a little bit about cows, about milk, sooner or later I will end up on a farm. And if I'm very honest with you, I will share a little bit of a personal thing that I have. I would love to be a farmer. I come from a farmer's family. I've actually been milking cows myself for a couple of years. Unfortunately, that was not a given. But then I found multiple jobs around farmers. And currently, that's exactly what I do here at Danone. So I'm very pleased to share today with you a few of the highlights, the things that we do within Danone regarding our farmers and sustainability, where our farmers play a very important role in. First, let me introduce the company. The company Danone really has a clear mission. It states here on the screen. It says, one planet, one health. And those very little words emphasize what we do. We have to take care of our resources, but of course, the people that live on it also have to take care of their own resource, their health. And it's exactly what Danone would love to do, providing to as many people as possible the healthy food as possible. That's clearly our statement. So how do we do that? How we try to organize that? We try to organize that via some unique brands that we put in the market. Those brands are health focused. Some of them you might know because they're iconic, they're global. Some of them you might recognize because they're very local. Within Danone, we clearly work in three major divisions. One of them is water. 90% of our turnover is coming from our water division, with the iconic brand from France, Evian, Bonafont in Mexico, just to highlight a few. Here in the middle on the screen, you see what we call specialized nutrition. And already some of the earlier speakers were mentioning the goodness that we need to give to the people who need it the most at a certain moment in their life. Like infant formula, the young children. But as well, people who need special care after operations or in elderly home. So our division, altogether, medical nutrition as well as early life nutrition represent roughly 30% of Danone's turnover. The biggest is coming from what we nowadays call essential dairy and plant-based. Because as you might know, in 2017, Group Danone purchased the American White Wave company, all of a sudden becoming the #1 dairy yogurt in the world, becoming the #1 vegetable protein supplier in the world. So that means also that there is a change in the brands that we have, actually a change and an addition. All right, so we still supply all the goodness of dairy, but we also supply our consumers with vegetable proteins. Also via unique brands, Activia, Oikos, but now also Silk, or here in Europe, mostly known Alpro. Right? Those produce for Danone roughly over 50% of what we have on turnover. So Danone at a glance. Our top markets is now also in the US with the acquisition of White Wave. France, although almost 100 years ago Danone was formed in Barcelona, we are nowadays head office in Paris. So as a French company, we are very happy also that still France is there as a majority in our markets. and you see the rest of the markets. But basically, if you look globally, 50% of our sales comes from Europe and North America and Canada. Some figures of last year, turnover, quite strong, with some good growth figures, plus 2.5%. I've got a lot of colleagues, 100,000 and over, and we are available in over 120 countries where you can buy our products. So yes, we are a global company that provides food to human beings. If I zoom in a little bit more on the part of essential dairy and plant-based, what we actually need to do, and it's already mentioned earlier by the previous speakers, it's very important that we keep telling and keep showing what our consumers need. So we need to innovate in order to meet the needs and the demands for current food generations and the ones to come. How do we do that? Well, first of all, a healthier and tastier portfolio. Because reflecting to the previous speakers again, showing figures, what are the consumers' needs, they look for healthier products, or organic products, or plant-based products, right? So we need to offer that, and we have that in our portfolio. Second of all is that we see a big change in how and when consumers are eating these kind of products. If I reflect that to myself, maybe you noticed by looking at my last name, Hollander, I'm very Dutch, right, with this kind of name. It can't be more Dutch than this. Of course, I'm very proud of that. But if I look at my own family, how did we in the past with my family, if we were eating dairy, we were having dinner. Potatoes, vegetables, small piece of meat next to it, and then as a dessert came the big packages with yogurts or porridge, whatever was available at the moment. All dairy products, and we were eating a lot as a family together, enjoying the moment. But nowadays, if I look at my own family, well, coming home late for work, having a daughter, she needs to go to, I don't know where, with her friends, right? So there's almost more on the go, meaning smaller packages which you can bring on the go. But we see it, of course, in global consumer trends as well. More products need to be provided in the kiosks, at the train stations, right, gas stations, wherever available. Second of all is, also again, reflecting what was read earlier today, transparency. Consumers don't take for granted if we just write on the package that it's coming from here or there, or it's certified this or that. They want to be absolutely sure to know where the product is coming from. Certified third party, right? Or in the future, using technology to see for themselves where my product come from. Danone took the liberty in 2017 as well. That's why you see the logo non-GMO, to have some of their key brands in the United States going fully non-GMO, all the way upstream. So our cows were eating non-GMO corn, alfalfa, soya, which was a huge impact for our farmers at that time. Why did we do that? Are we against GMO? Do we see more towards non-GMO? Well, there's a discussion around that. We don't say a statement on that. But the fact is that our consumers were asking for it. And in the end, we want to give our consumers a choice. So whenever they are in the shop, doing their groceries, and they look at yogurts or products they would love to eat as a dessert, we just want to be sure it's a Danone product, to be honest. And then the last part, which I'm, coming from a farmer's point of view, we all want to do that with a trustful relationship from our farmers and suppliers. We are not a co-op. We are an FMCG, putting brands in the market. So the more yogurt we sell, the more milk we need to buy. And that we do via direct sourcing. So we know our farms. We know we have Danone farmers. We are very proud to say that in Europe, over 15 years on average, farmers are delivering their milk to Danone. So there's a long and trustful relationship that we have. And that's also the key if we go towards what we want for sustainability. But if we then look at milk, and particularly milk for fresh dairy, so for our yogurts, and not for our infant formula, it's key to Danone. It's key because it has a social impact. We have roughly 140,000 farmers around the world supplying Danone with good quality milk. That's a lot. So you infect a lot of lives. Those are farmers. Those have family. Those have kids. They are in an area. They provide employment there. And we've seen a nice example earlier on the goodness it brings in villages as seen in India. Thank you very much for the example. Yeah? It's key. Farmers are are more or less the heart of small villages. Right? So we have a responsibility with that. And being a big company as Danone is, I want to reflect that already in 1972, our CEO at that time was stating, he said, our social responsibility does not stop at the factory gate. We have a wider social responsibility. We want to take care of that. Economically, milk is also key for us. Of course, it has a big impact. If you buy and if you sell so much milk, it has a big economic impact. If we go towards sustainability, it's a main contributor for greenhouse gas. That is no surprise for many of you. We know the impact, the footprint it has for dairy on our emissions. Yeah, all our dairy farms together, I mean, roughly these numbers, of course, these change a lot, but over 2.5 million animals are infected, or let's say, not infected, of course, but reflect our milk production. Right? So that's a big impact that it has. On the previous slide, I've shown you that Danone is a global company, but we are organized locally. Because we do show that our milk is sourced around our factories. And we know our farmers. If we look at carbon footprint, Danone has taken a strong commitment when it comes to reduction on greenhouse gases. In 2050, we want to be zero net. In the meantime, the company needs to grow. We want to grow for our stakeholders as well. So all of these things are implemented. Cutting emission full scope, of course. What can we do to have a positive impact? But also in the middle, you see there are our farmers, to make them resilient. Because if they become more sustainable, our planet will be more sustainable, we as a company and as consumers will be more sustainable. We go as far as Danone that we go all the way upstream to the cow to implement our greenhouse gas. So if you see the greenhouse gas emission of the cows is on the balance sheet of Danone. So 50% of Danone's footprint is from cows. That's quite a lot. So if we want to have an impact, it needs to be done there, on farm level. Is there then a one-size-fits-all solution for this? No, it's not. As I said earlier, we are managed locally, we source locally, so we want to do it locally. And we do it not alone, we do it with partners. First of all, we need to know where you are. So we've chosen a tool, the Cool Farm tool. That's actually a tool to assess how much CO2 and equivalents are coming on a farm. This is used by many other industries. I just have a few of the brands you see that use this Cool Farm tool. So if you know where you are, we've looked together with the University of Wageningen to see where are the biggest improvements for farmers. What can they do? Right, so we made these kind of cards. And in the end, my colleagues in the field, locally, with the farmers together, they go towards action plans. And you just see a few highlights on the things that they propose. Having legumes in pastures. In some areas, increase milk production where possible. Reduce the number of unproductive animals or unproductive days. Covering manure lagoons, reforestation, just to name a few. But it's done, again, locally to, in the end, contribute to our global sustainability goals. And finally, being a dairy company, we cannot acknowledge the fact that we need to take care of our animals. Already shown by previous speakers many times that consumers look at dairy as being, it's biggest reason to stop eating or drinking dairy is because of this animal welfare or animal well-being. How does Danone take care of that? Again, we take a global position. We say what we do not accept anymore in our supply chain. We drill it down toward the local teams by going around on the farm, and here you see it, together with the farm, doing an assessment. Hey, where are you at risk, farmer? Where is the potential to improve, farmer? Because if the farmer is improving, he's improving his sustainability, he's improving his profitability most of the time. It opens his eyes for the discussion on animal welfare. He's more aware about the facts where we can be at risk. And in the end, of course, if he improves, the whole industry can improve, and we benefit from that as well. And then again, you see, we work with partners there as well. A partner like Cow Signals, very much known. They show to many people the fact, hey, what do the cows actually tell us? Look at cows. And here you see the best example. I mean, if all of our cows, the 2.5 million, can look like this, well, then mission accomplished, I would say, from my side. Those are just a few things, but we do work always locally. We have got so many local projects on social well-being, reduction of water quality on dairy farms. All of these things happen on a local base, even though we are a big global company. And as a result, Danone is paving the way for a sustainable future. How? By healthier eating and drinking for our consumers, taking the responsibility, being really a stewardship, also in terms of business, with our farmers locally, bringing value in the end for our consumers, our suppliers, and as a company. Thank you very much.